let's get into my official top 10 preseason power rankings, ladies and gentlemen. At number 10, I have the Denver Broncos. I believe that Denver is going to have the best defense in the NFL without a doubt. They got to the playoffs last year in year one of the Bo Nix era. He was awesome, one of the best rookie quarterbacks that we've seen. Cincinnati now is going to have an opportunity to get back into the playoffs, but I still like Denver to edge them out as of right now. And Denver wins 10 games. They get into the playoffs again. They sneak in at number 7, just like they did last year. And I believe that this is going to be the best defense in the NFL. They added so many major additions on this defense. Talanoa Hufanga from the San Francisco 49ers, a former all-pro safety. They drafted Jahdae Barron, one of the best corners in the draft. And they also picked up Dre Greenlaw from the San Francisco 49ers. This defense led the NFL in sacks last year. It was already one of the best in the NFL. They make 3 huge additions, 3 starting caliber additions. You can bet your mama this is going to be the best defense in the NFL. I'm excited to see what this offense can be. I don't know realistically what type of step they can take. I don't know if I'm ready to say, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Super Bowl contender. I think the defense is going to win them a lot of football games. They've got to have a more dynamic offense, in my opinion. They drafted RJ Harvey. I'm excited to see what he can do. I think Troy Franklin Jr. out of Oregon is going to be a really interesting piece to this puzzle for the Broncos offense. I have them at number 10, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into number 9 right now. At number 9, I have the Minnesota Vikings. I'm sky high on the Minnesota Vikings. I think that this is going to be one of the best teams in the NFL. I think realistically, they can win the NFC North. They can pick up right where they left off last year, winning 14 games. This offensive line is better. This is an offense now led by J.J. McCarthy, who's been in so many big games at Michigan. He is going to be the puzzle piece that solves everything for this Minnesota team. I talked about them already. They are going to be great this year. They're going to be a Super Bowl contender. That's one of my hottest takes of the year. Minnesota, led by J.J. McCarthy, is going to be flat out awesome. Do not sleep on the Minnesota Vikings. At number 8, I've got the Detroit Football Lions. Now, later in the season, as it progresses, I will probably have the Vikings jump the Lions. But as of right now, I can't put the Lions behind the Vikings. I can't do it. They won 15 games. They were the number 1 seed in the NFC. They lose both of their coordinators. That's the reason why I dropped them down a little bit. They lose Frank Ragnow. This is going to be an interesting situation for this Lions team, and I'm really curious to see how they respond to losing both of their coordinators. If you remember, after the Eagles went to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs 3 years ago, they lose both of their coordinators, and they have this ridiculous fallout and lose in the first round. They bounce back. Dan Campbell is a tremendous head coach. This defense was a revolving door last year, and they still won 15 games. I expect the Lions to be a playoff contender without a doubt. I have them coming in at number 8 in the top 10 preseason power rankings. At number 7, I have the Washington Commanders. I wanted to put them a little higher on this list, but I was splitting hairs between the team that I have in front of them, between the Commanders and the team that I have in front of them. They're going to be a Super Bowl contender, and Jaden Daniels is a guy that has everything in front of him right now. MVP, Super Bowl MVP, you name it. He can be one of the best quarterbacks in football, and this offense now is going to reach new heights with Deebo Samuel, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. This is going to be a tremendous team. The defense is going to be great. The offense is going to be unbelievable. But you're in a tough division with the Philadelphia Eagles, who obviously are the reigning defending NFL champs. You've got a significantly upgraded division overall with the Cowboys and the Giants. I still like the Commanders to win 11 or 12 games, probably take that 5 seed in the NFC, but I have them at number 7 in the preseason power rankings, even though they were in the NFC Championship. At number 6, final one here before we dive into the top 5, I have the Houston Texans, another team that I am just sky high about. I love the Houston Texans. This is a team that I think can win the Super Bowl. I really do. This is quietly been built into one of the best defenses in the NFL. Losing CJGJ is a massive loss to this defense, but they've quietly built this into one of the best units in football. And with everything considered, with how bad the Texans offense was last year, with how bad everything went against this team, the offensive line was maybe the worst in football. Everybody on this receiving core got hurt. They still won 10 games and still won a playoff game. That speaks volumes about CJ Stroud. I have no problem if you put CJ Stroud as a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. I believe the list was done by ESPN earlier this year, and they said that CJ Stroud was not a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. And that was maybe my biggest problem with everything that I saw this offseason. How the heck are you not putting CJ Stroud as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? He is one of only 6 quarterbacks in NFL history that has started and won a playoff game in each of his first 2 seasons in the league. You have CJ Stroud in that conversation already. He did it as a rookie. He did it last year with one of the worst O-lines in football with no weapons. He did that. And now the situation is a million times better. You've got a significantly upgraded offensive line. The receiving core is going to be healthier. They got Christian Kirk. They did a great job in the draft. The defense is unbelievable. And now it seems like everything is coming together for this Texans team. And I believe that they are a Super Bowl contender. And I can't wait to see what CJ Stroud does. People forgot how good he was in his rookie year. Everyone was like, man, can CJ Stroud win the MVP? Can he be the first ever rookie to win the MVP? And then we had the same conversations about Jaden Daniels last year. Let's remember how great CJ Stroud is. He will be right back in that position. And I believe that the Texans are a true Super Bowl contender. Let's crack into the top 5 here. At number 5, boom, I have the Buffalo Bills. This is a team that has a lot to prove this year, in my opinion. The Bills, led by Josh Allen, are a team that has been so steady throughout his career. They've been so good, but can they win against the big bad wolf that is the Kansas City Chiefs? That's been the question that everybody's asking. Can this year be different? I want to say that it can be. I believe that they upgraded the weapons overall around Josh Allen. That was the question mark that I had last year. Like, can this Buffalo team with a significantly downgraded receiving core because they lost Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, can this team with a significantly downgraded receiving core make it back to that point? Khalil Shakir stepped up in a big-time way. They took Keon Coleman early in the draft. And now they added Josh Palmer. I think Keon Coleman now in year 2 can be really good, and Khalil Shakir got re-signed. This can be a really good offense, in my opinion. They also re-signed James Cook on a pretty budget-friendly deal, I would say. And Dalton Kincaid is now going to take another step. So I think that this offense can be a lot better than what we saw it as last year. The defense is still going to be really good. I really liked what I saw from the additions that they made this offseason. They added Joey Bosa. They added Shaq Thompson. They got Tre'Davious White back. This defense is going to be quietly one of the best in the NFL, in my opinion, and it always has been under Sean McDermott. They're going to be awesome this year. I like the Buffalo Bills to be a Super Bowl contender, just like they have been over the last few years. Josh Allen looking to repeat as the MVP like he was last year. He's going to have another great year. At number 4, I have the Baltimore Ravens, the team that was eliminated by the Buffalo Bills last year. They made some big additions this offseason as well. They're finally going to be healthier. Jair Alexander was a massive pickup for this team. And I believe that this defense is going to be so vicious. It's going to be so good. And Lamar Jackson, if there is a player that has more, I don't know how to say this, but a player with more revenge on his mind than Josh Allen, you need to find him for me, because I can't find anyone else. Maybe Patrick Mahomes, but Lamar Jackson, the conversation, the disrespect that's been around his name this offseason has been unbearable. I hope that he goes out and proves everybody wrong this year. I cannot wait to see what he does, and I believe that he can win his 3rd MVP this year. Everything's in front of him. Everything's in front of him. MVP. Super Bowl MVP. That is what the Ravens expect this year, and they have a insane defense, great offense, Pro Bowlers everywhere you look, all pros everywhere you look. The Baltimore Ravens will be in the AFC Championship with an opportunity to get themselves to a place they've never been under Lamar, and that is the Super Bowl. Let's crack into the top three here. I'm excited to show you guys number three. I'm excited to show you guys the Los Angeles Rams. Yep, I did it. I put LA at number three. Even though they lost in the divisional round, I understand that. This is a team that can win the Super Bowl. And you may have question marks about Matthew Stafford. Well, does the back injury worry you much? No, it doesn't. That was more of a precautionary thing for the Los Angeles Rams to hold him back a little bit. He seems healthier now. He's one of the toughest quarterbacks in the NFL. They added Davante Adams. This defense is going to take another step. They got gashed in the run game against the Eagles both times they played them. If this front seven is better, they can win the Super Bowl. They really can. This D-line was unbelievable last year with Jared Verse, who was the defensive rookie of the year, Braden Fisk, who was the runner-up. Those guys take another step, in my opinion. And why can't this team, who played the Philadelphia Eagles, the toughest game that they had in their entire Super Bowl run, why can't they give them another run for their money? And if one play is different, if Jalen Carter doesn't get an unblocked rush up the middle, Matthew Stafford finds his guy for a touchdown and the Rams win that game. So I believe the Rams are going to be all the way back. This addition of Davante over Cooper Kupp is monumental. I can't state how big of a move that is. This is going to be huge for the Los Angeles Rams. I have them at number three. At number two, I have the big bad wolf in the AFC. That is the Kansas City Chiefs. The team that I want to make some bold predictions about, but you guys are going to have to come back next week in order to get those predictions. This is going to be a team, ladies and gentlemen, that has vengeance on their mind. I spoke about Lamar Jackson, the vengeance that he's going to have. It's going to be scorched earth for the NFL and for everyone that is in front of the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Yes, they just missed out on the three-peat last year, but you can't tell me that this offense isn't going to be way better. First of all, you get the narrative that this is the last dance for Travis Kelce, the last dance for Mahomes and Kelce to submit their legacy as one of the best tight end quarterback duos of all time, maybe better than Gronk and Tom. That's what you're looking at right now. You now have Xavier Worthy, who was a rookie last year, who played his best ever game in the Super Bowl, had 2 touchdowns. Hollywood Brown, who missed the entirety of the regular season. He's fully acclimated to this offense. And you have Rashee Rice with, a suspension looming, a potential suspension looming. But before he got hurt, he was the clear-cut number one receiver on this team, was easily going to get 1,000 yards receiving. He gets hurt. Completely different story for the Chiefs offense in terms of that season. They get everyone back, everyone healthy, a significantly upgraded offensive line. Josh Simmons is going to be an absolute monster at the left tackle spot. People have just been raving about him, and this is still an amazing defense. Why can't the Chiefs get right back to the same position that they've been over the last, 3-4 years? Why can't they get back to that exact same spot? I believe that they can. I believe that they can do it for 4 years in a row. That is the type of hype and praise that I have for number 15. I believe that he can go down as the second best quarterback of all time. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to be awesome. I love what they give you, and I believe that they are going to be right back in the same position. They can win the Super Bowl. Let's go to number 1 here, where I have the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe that the Philadelphia Eagles will not have a Super Bowl slump. You can't put them any lower at number 1 because they won the Super Bowl in a dominant fashion. They bludgeoned the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And they didn't lose anyone too big. They're going to get Landon Dickerson back. They really avoided a big injury there. This team is going to be just fine. They're going to be right back in the same position to try and win another Super Bowl, in my opinion. They're going to have a tough game against the Rams, but I don't see any reason why, with all the narratives and all of the bad mouthing that's been done about Jalen Hurts this offseason, he's going to have so much anger to get back to that point. So much revenge on his mind to get back to that point. And that's, what I believe has been one of the bigger mistakes in football this year. And in this offseason in specific, it's like, why have you been talking bad about Jalen Hurts, the guy who just led this offense to the Super Bowl? I get it. Saquon Barkley was great. I get it. Saquon Barkley had over 2,000 rushing yards, one of the best running back seasons that we've ever seen. But why are you knocking Jalen Hurts? He was awesome last year, and he was awesome in the Super Bowl. I believe the Philadelphia Eagles have the best chance as of right now to win the Super Bowl. That doesn't mean that I believe they're going to win it, but they should be the front runner to win it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my official top 10 preseason power rankings. We've got the reigning defending champs at 1. We've got the dynastic Kansas City Chiefs at number 2. We've got the emerging Los Angeles Rams. We've got the hungry Baltimore Ravens. We've got the amazing Buffalo Bills. We've got the Houston Texans at number 6. Washington Commanders at 7. Detroit Football Lions at 8. Minnesota Vikings at 9. And the Denver Broncos at number 10.